Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. Well, my stay in Thailand is now over. I arrived in Chiang Rai, Thailand on the evening of November 21 and checked into this wonderful hotel that's just a 10-minute walk from the gate of the Mae Fa Luang University that is the host of the 5th ASEAN Eco-Criticism Conference, and this hotel has been wonderful to stay in. On the first day of my stay here, it was my recovery day. I did nothing but read in bed and eat and nap and maybe work on my paper for the conference a little bit. I have a read with me video for that recovery day, which I will link down below. The conference proper was for 2 days, November 23 and 24, and on November 25 we had that eco-cultural tour in Chiang Rai, and everything was so wonderful. I will link down below the vlogs that I made to preserve my memories about those days. But here I am now, very early in the morning of November 26 to finally leave Thailand. So I thought maybe I should just go ahead and film a pack with me video, which I have never done on my channel before, even though I have traveled before using these same suitcases, although most of the time it has been just one of them. Now, usually I have a packing list every time I travel, just to make sure that I don't leave behind anything that I need going on the trip and then going back home. But I have been traveling frequently since June actually, and I think I've got my packing list almost memorized already by this time, so I did not need to refer to it at all while I was doing the packing now. Another factor why I don't really need to look at my packing list at this time is that this is a hotel room that I occupied all by myself, so almost everything in here is mine and need to be packed in terms of clothes, shoes, toiletries. I will not be confused for sure which is mine and which is not mine. While packing, let me just share with you some of my thoughts about traveling in general, because I'm not a travel person and I do not have wanderlust, and so traveling for me is always a difficult experience, maybe because I am not in the best of health to begin with, and also maybe because I am also kind of old, and I'm also a creature of habit. Any kind of change, even if temporary, makes me feel quite uncomfortable. But I do like being in new places, and I like being in a different place from time to time. It's the getting there that I find difficult to go through, the process of getting there. I started traveling this year in June to promote my novel, The Maps of Camarines, which has been published by Penguin Random House Southeast Asia, and it has been released in April 25 this year, first as an ebook. After a month, it was released as a paperback in Malaysia and the Philippines, and in June, it started to be released in other countries of the world. It is available on Amazon, and I will link down below. So in June, I attended the Philippine Book Festival in Metro Manila, which my publisher was a part of. I was there to sign copies of my book in a booth that was organized and manned by the official Philippine distributor of the book. And then in September, I traveled again to be at the Manila International Book Fair for another book signing of my novel. I have vlogs of those two different book events on my channel, which I will link down below. In September, I also traveled to Metro Manila to attend several classes of the award-winning filmmaker Armando Lau, who founded the Found Story School of Filmmaking. And then in October, I traveled again to Baguio City this time for another book event. And then in November, I went to Metro Manila again for another book event, both of them to promote my own novel. The vlogs about them will be in the description box as well. And now there's this conference in Thailand in which I talked about a different book, not my book. The book talk about the book will also be linked in the description box. Now, like I said, I like being in new places and different places. I actually like showing up. I like meeting my readers. I like seeing old friends who I think are great. I actually like my distributor, Dorothy, and I like seeing Almira, who heads the sales of my publisher in Southeast Asia. They are so easy to work with, and I'm always happy to see them in person. I also like meeting people who are super intelligent and vibrant, like the people in this conference. So I like showing up. It's just the transit that's difficult for me. The bus rides and the road trips and the taxis and the bookings and the flights and the delays and the long lines, the uncomfortable seats to wait in, all of that, anything related to the transit, they are so uncomfortable and unsettling for me. And now I have motion sickness. I didn't have it before. So now I do have to use motion sickness patches. I always get mixed emotions whenever I travel. I'm excited to be in a new place and I want to be there, but I dread the transit, which is why I appreciate that I get to stay in really comfortable places like this hotel and my brother's family's house in Quezon City, where he allows me the use of one entire room at the top floor. And there is also that one hotel 5 minutes away from my brother's place that he treats me to whenever there are other guests in his house, usually also relatives that will be using the top floor. Because this is how I recover from transit, with quiet and darkness and just being alone. Okay, so I'm all packed and here is my personal items bag, the black one that I really, really like. It is also my everyday carry bag when I'm not traveling because it has a dedicated laptop compartment in it, but it doesn't look like a laptop bag. I use it even if I don't carry my laptop with me. And here are my two matching suitcases. I have the large and the small. I do not have the medium of this, although it exists and is still available to buy. I do like this brand. It's called Compass and everything still works without a problem, even though I'm sure they've been manhandled by airline personnel and bus personnel and random porters. And now to inspect my hotel room one last time to make sure that I don't leave any personal items behind, or trash for that matter, which I have corralled into this garbage bag right here. I dropped my key card in the emergency box outside the door, which is where I got it when I checked in. So I'm leaving you now with the original sound of the area, the sound of the birds. Thanks for watching. Bye.